Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan was named as the president of the United Arab Emirates after the death of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Egypt has announced a 3-day of general mourning because of the death of Sheikh Khalifa. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi paid condolences as he went to the United Arab Emirates to pay condolences. We are going to shed light today on the Egyptian-Emirati relations and the history of this relations, in addition to the contributions of Sheikh Khalifa and the role that he played in that the United Arab Emirates have witnessed a great leap during his regime. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us today our dear guest, Mr. Ahmed Osama, the member of the Egyptian Council for Foreign Affairs. Good morning, Dr. Osama.
Good morning.
Dr. Osama, could you give us your insight concerning the role that was played by Sheikh Khalifa in transforming the United Arab Emirates, transforming the country to be a regional powerhouse?
In fact, Sheikh Khalifa, rest in peace and God bless him, and our condolences for our brothers and sisters in the UAE and all of the Arab and Islamic nations and all of the people in the region who appreciate this one of the exceptional leaders in the region for a long time. Sheikh Khalifa was and his late father Sheikh Zayed was in a good ties with Egypt and having a cooperation along the history with Egypt. He took over the power and the presidency in the UAE and the Prince of Abu Dhabi, and he took his steps gradually, one by one, serving his country in different official successful places for his country, and with the power, with the energy, with the mediations between the West and the East, and he really succeeded to make the UAE Emirates to be one of the very important hub for absorbing and attracting the investors worldwide to be there. So he did a very good job for his country and for his people to have a luxury of life and to enjoy their life.
Prosperity,
prosperity. You have Emirates now, you can find huge amount of multinational.
Yes, it's a cosmopolitan
country, yes.
And there's an important point also that all the nationalities are treated there in the United Arab Emirates equally.
Yes, they have respect every single person there, from all nationalities, without any kind of discriminations like other countries based on nationalities or ethnics or religions or whatever. They did a great job with that, and now they are one of the very important supportive country also in the region, and playing a very important role.
Yes. So also Sheikh Khalifa was very keen to provide his people with a good standard of living, and he also established a large number of housing projects in the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah. The key thing is, like, the master key of the accomplishments of a successful country is to please your citizens and your people, and to let them know that their president is keen and caring about their life and lifestyle and enhancing their kind of education, healthcare, and housing. So he did that for housing. They did a lot of kind of offers to support their people to have a better life. At the same time, he established a lot of international universities in Emirates to allow people to have a better education, and also through attracting people and companies and business to have a wonderful environment for business there. So they are he and his crew surely and their team, they did a great job also in this hard time in the economic crisis years ago. He took the responsibility and push aids and support to his country to stay strong for Dubai and for their people to stand up and not to fail.
Yes. So also, Dr. Osama, the Sheikh Khalifa had a very good stance concerning the several Arab crises in several Arab nations. Could you give us your insight concerning this?
Surely he had. Now the man, we are talking honestly speaking, as the man is, God bless him, he died days ago. So now we have to say the truth about the man. We are not like complimenting any or having any kind of benefits for that. Sheikh Khalifa and Sheikh Zayed, his father before, we have to admit that their generations, and also Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, he's in love with Egypt. He's in love with Egypt. And condolences to him and to their royal family and to their people there. Sheikh Khalifa was serving in Emirates in the early 1969 with the military and armed force with Emirates, and they have an important role to engage with Egypt in 1973. So we cannot deny the brotherhood of the Arab countries and their support with Egypt. So he worked with the military. Same time he was working with the diplomacy and as a leader and with the executive presidency council. So for the region and for the recent situations, he played an important role with Yemen. The crisis there still between the Houthiyyin, and we are trying, all of the decision makers everywhere, trying to cease fire and stop this kind of civil war. But till now he did his job with supporting with aids to and support to brothers and sisters in Yemen. Same time, he is trying also with Saudi Arabia to build ties also and to try to find solutions with Yemen. I think also with Sudan, he offered, the Emirates offered to help. With Ethiopia, they trying to negotiate to try to find any kind of solutions. With the region, with the conflict, historical conflict between the Palestine and the Israeli, yes, they have good relationship in commercial relationships and security standards. And in this issue, it is a bit complicated because they didn't deny and didn't stop defending the Palestinian rights.
Yes.
Same time, they have
Yeah.
some threats from Iran, from the other side. So
Yes.
they have to balance these
Yes.
kind of relationships.
Yes, Dr. Osama, concerning the Egyptian Emirati ties and the historical relations, could you shed more light, and also about the stance of Egypt that was always similar with the United Arab Emirates in several in dealing with several problems or causes in the Arab world?
Surely the relationships between Egypt and Emirates is historically, and in the beginning of the establishment of the 7 Emirates in the UAE, Egypt was supporting from the early beginning with the teachers there, with schools, with the engineers, with our talented technical and education support with Emirates.
Yes.
At the same time, we cannot deny but appreciate their role in supporting Egypt after the hard time during 2011 and the 30th of June revolution, and how the Arab world, the Emirates and Saudi Arabia was supporting Egypt in that time. And Egypt is always there for Emirates, for Saudi Arabia, for Kuwait, for Iraqi, for all of our, for Jordan, for Palestine, for all of the Arab world. Egypt never stopped its role of responsibility and leadership and serving the nation, for having solutions for the conflicts and trying to do conflict resolutions with them. And the same with the conference was in Iraqi, attended by Emirates, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Qatar, many countries. Egypt in the diplomacy having a very professional team, generations after generations, with the foreign affairs policy in the authorities' part, supporting Egypt and working globally in a very high way with the president surely trying to solve all of the conflicts facing Egypt now with Ethiopia and with the economic crisis worldwide for the Russian-Ukrainian war, and at the same time like the food security, which is very important now for all countries to work together to solve and manage these kind of crises.
Yes. So, Dr. Osama, also Sheikh Khalifa played a good role in the field of charity, and so how did his charitable work reach to nearly 90 countries around the world?
Yes, Sheikh Khalifa, God bless him, founded his the charity organization named by his name, and he did a lot of charity and work and serving the community, for the youth, for the education, for helping people from crisis, and not only in his country but abroad, with a lot of millions of dollars.
Yes.
And he was doing this in a very low profile. This man wasn't one of like the charismatic leaders or trying to show off his muscles. No, he was doing the right things as he can to find out the results for the best of people. By the end of the story, no one everywhere is perfect in the other sides, in
Yes.
other point of views for others. But by the end of the story, we have to say that he was a great leader. He was one of the wise leaders and responsible to his country, responsible to the Arab world. Whenever even he was in a health crisis since 2014, and Sheikh Mohammed ibn Zayed was taking over the responsibilities somehow. But even if they took any kind of responsibilities and closing some relationships, it's for the beyond the recent situations, and we have to
fulfill the vision of Sheikh Khalifa.
Yes, and at the same time to have open relations everywhere,
Yes.
building bridges to find out, because even any conflicts, by the end of the way, they will sit to negotiate how to be solved,
Yes.
as the history of policy and
Yes.
politics and war
Yes.
is already gone.
Yes, I thank you very much for your valuable information, and thank you for joining us today in the breakfast show. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed Osama, member of the Egyptian Council for Foreign Affairs. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
My
Thank
pleasure
you.
too. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for following me in this segment. I leave you with the rest of the segments of the breakfast show. My name is Amal Mukhtar.